All right, we are back, and I wanted to do another brief stream to talk about Heart of the Jedi again, an important topic, an exciting topic at the moment, because there's been an update to the Amazon book page. The person who uploaded the file has added something to the book description that I want to share with folks. So they're clearly aware of what's happening, and and they want to try and address some of the rumors. Now, what's interesting is that they've done a little bit of that, but they've actually added to the mystery. Now, I don't think it's super important to know who uploaded it, but so I'm not trying to sort of smoke that person out or anything like that. I don't really care, honestly. But they have added some things they want to clarify, both for EU fans and for fans of the new canon, that I think is important that we should sort of briefly address. I'm going to try and share my screen, and we can take a look at that and do a little commentary as we go, and then just hop off. And again, just sort of like hopefully clear up a little bit some of the rumors, but also maybe add a little bit of mystery to it. Let's see if we can share real fast. Okay, so here we go. We got the Amazon profile page, Heart of the Jedi. You've seen I've purchased it a few times. Let's see here. This is all old, Heart of the Jedi, description from the book itself and the manuscript, biographical information. And here we go. So a note, I'd like to clear a few things up. This is an unofficial fan printing of an unofficial fan story, i.e. bootleg fan fiction. I would quibble with that a little bit. Sure, I understand what they're saying. There's reasons they probably need to say that. I wouldn't call this bootleg fan fiction. It's a lost commissioned story that is made available. This particular printing of it is sort of bootleggish. I get that, right? They want to clarify that in their view, Disney owns Star Wars, not Heart of the Jedi. I can understand that legal reasoning. I am not making money off this venture that's being printed at cost. And again, it's an important point to note. A lot of folks have asked, how much money is this making? Who's making the money? Is so-and-so mad that they're missing out on money? Again, it's being printed at cost, meaning whatever this person's charging, it's going right back into the cost of actually printing the book. So clarifies that there was a fan printing briefly available in 2015. I and most others missed that one. I did a video earlier this week showing the 2015 version that I was lucky enough to pick up. Some time ago, it says I decided I wanted a copy basically of their own. So did the work, got the manuscript from StarWarsTimeline.net. And as I sort of noted, there's a different back cover. They did a little bit of Photoshop work here to find what they thought was an appropriate back cover. They put on Amazon, and in their view, they forgot about it. It seems like the book got put up at some point in early March, if not earlier. So it's interesting. This person put this up a while ago, and many of us didn't discover it until the very end of April. So they supposedly forgot about it, but now have clearly seen the uptick in sales, as well as lots of us who are excited about it and trying to share the news for others who want a physical copy themselves. This is where things get interesting. The increase in copies has led to a few rumors. That's true. They want to address them. First of all, they claim they're not Ken Flint. Okay. They are not Joe Bongiorno. Great. They are not affiliated with Disney. This book is not outselling Disney Star Wars. The way the Amazon ranking algorithm works is based on sales per hour, not lifetime sales. That may or may not be true, but I think it's important to note that, as we've talked about how well this is selling, it's easy to sort of misinterpret a snapshot of sales data, right? And to sort of make more out of it. I saw this pretty early on when it was first reported that, that based on a snapshot of sales data on Amazon, that it was doing about as well as most other books, with a few exceptions, right? So again, already there was some nuance being introduced into the reporting, but you could see people then on social media running with it and saying, forget the nuance, let's just say that it's the best-selling book ever. So again, I can appreciate that, right? I mean, these rumors sort of they grow out of control, right? And it's true. Is it the best-selling Star Wars book of all time? No, right? But like taking a snapshot of Amazon sales data as it's been reported at different points, it's, again, in whatever moment you're in, right, based on the reporting you've seen, there have been times when, based on those sales per hour, it's outselling any other Star Wars book in print. Doesn't mean that it's, again, sold more books than any other Star Wars book. It just means that for that snapshot, it's the hot Star Wars book on the market, right? And fair enough. They want to clarify that they are not Timothy Zahn. Okay, I didn't think they were. He says, I know him. That adds to the mystery. Who could this be? He is an amazing mentor and an inspiration to him. Okay, he would never try to sabotage his work or steal his thunder. Everyone go buy Thrawn. And absolutely, in promoting the existence of this physical paperback copy on Amazon, I have never in any way wanted to undermine Timothy Zahn. Would never even occurred to me. The fact that it's been reported that this physical copy that this person uploaded has at some particular hours in the day outsold some of what Timothy Zahn's, again, it doesn't give me any pleasure to say that. It's a fact, right? We're reporting some facts about the excitement around this book. Timothy Zahn's Star Wars books are not the only Star Wars books impacted consequently, right? So again, I guess we have to apologize to every Star Wars author, but again, in no way is in promoting this are we trying to undermine Zahn, who this person claims to know and be a mentee of. I want to say to everyone to go buy my book, but at this point, anonymity is probably safer than infamy. Fair enough. Even though there are many people who in the EU fandom who probably want to buy this guy a beer for making available in physical format this version of Heart of the Jedi. But again, adding to the intrigue, this person has books themselves. Okay, so who could this be? A mentee of Zahn with someone with books of their own. Fair, interesting, right? So clarifying rumors, but adding more to the mystery. This is worth discussing, these final 2 bullet points. EU fans, stop trying to stick a thumb in Disney's eye. We're not going to change anything. There's a lot to unpack there. I'd argue that a book like this, in these snapshots in time, selling as well as it's sold, it's got to mean something. And it's got to mean something to Lucasfilm and to whoever else makes the decisions about the continuation of the expanded universe. So we may not, in the end, I mean, only time will tell, change anything, but this has got to mean something. But, but so what, right? Even if it doesn't, what I've always thought is most important about this is that the most number of Star Wars fans, EU or otherwise, are just aware of an available lost book, right? And which, again, as I've said from the start, whether or not you get a physical version, the point is, the value is that it's always available at StarWarsTimeline.net, right, in digital PDF, right, whether you get the physical book or not. So the overwhelming excitement, I think, and sense of surprise has been brought to many Star Wars fans, many of whom didn't even know that this was available and has been available since 2015. It's important, right? It's not about, I think initially, it's not about changing anything. It's about getting people to read the story, right? And that's great. So anyway, but yeah, stop trying to stick a thumb in Disney's eyes. Yeah, I don't think any of us should make that our primary goal in life, right? I think the joy of this book being available is that it's available. If you're an EU fan and you want more EU content, now you've got it. Now you've got a new way of collecting it too and putting it up there on the shelf with other books. So, that's great. Disney fans, he says in this final bullet point, just ignore the EU fans and let them have their silly little book. Stop tattling to Disney. I don't know if tattling's happening or not. Interestingly, if it is, it doesn't seem to be working since the book is still available on Amazon. It doesn't seem as if anyone at Disney or Del Rey, whoever else would claim the rights to this book or the Star Wars logo seems to have had any impact in actually getting it off. But yeah, again, I've seen, as we've just tried to report the facts, right, about the existence of this physical copy, about the hourly sales data, about the excitement, the positive excitement in the fandom about the discovery or rediscovery of a 30-year-old lost EU novel. All we've tried to do is to say, if what you love is Star Wars and if what you want is more EU, congratulations, there is yet another old lost novel now in physical print that you can put on the shelf. It is sometimes sad to see the way in which good EU news gets exploited to sort of stick it in Disney's eye, right? There are tons of fans, particularly on social media, who I think love the EU solely because they believe that all EU fans' primary mission in life is to stick it to Disney. I've said many times, I am pro Lucasfilm, I'm pro Disney. Why? Because I want the EU to continue. And the current copyright, intellectual property rights holder of Star Wars Expanded Universe is Disney and Lucasfilm. If I want that to happen, I want them to produce it. That's not the way everyone thinks, but as I report these facts, it's in no way meant to imply anything other than the facts. If you want to take those and stick it in Disney's eyes, that's up to you. But I don't think that it's fair to then sort of say people doing that sort of represent the entire EU movement or the EU fandom. again, if what you want is more EU stories, this person has very happily sort of given you a chance to get this book in physical format up for your collection. So good for you. So finally, he says he would like to apologize to Ken for any appearance that I might be stealing his work. That was not the intent. And yeah, I've definitely seen some people sort of concerned about whether or not this is in any way impacting Ken. I can't speak for Ken in any way. I just know that obviously he was involved in the release of the manuscript in 2015. He worked very closely with Joe Bongiorno to edit the book, to make it available and up to date within continuity and available on StarWarsTimeline.net. Yeah, it always gets a little sketchy when then someone takes that and puts it on Amazon and then presumably tries to make money. But again, I think this person's been very clear that they're selling it at cost and that in no way are they trying to steal the work. That's clearly not the intent. And I definitely agree with the spirit of that. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Yeah, interesting stuff. Now I'm seeing there's a bunch of comments here, and let's dive in. So Eckhart's Ladder, how mad are people going to be if I do a video covering the book? It's a good question. I think people are going to love it. I think people are going to love it. A lot of folks are talking about this, right? And I think that I think more clarity around this would be really helpful. I also think spreading the word would be helpful, right? Again, not in any way to stick it to Disney, but just to sort of make people aware in the broader Star Wars fandom, right, of the existence of this older book. That's the interesting point, right? And we've definitely weighed back and forth about how broadly to advertise things about this. We've been pushing a lot out, sort of as it's coming, just because it's so exciting, right? And but the interesting thing is, in the last week now, again, nothing's happened. I mean, the book sold enough, and enough people have told folks that whether it's Del Rey or Lucasfilm or Disney, and nothing's happened, that I don't know that it is going to get pulled down anytime soon, right? And again, I guess the thing that I would always want to stress is that even if it does get pulled down tomorrow, it's always available on StarWarsTimeline.net. I can't repeat that enough, right? So that story will never really go away, right? Going back, looking at some of the old... looking at see if there's any other comments here. A thumb in the eye, if anything, by making this book sell so well over a short time. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, again, I definitely don't think we're sticking a thumb in the eye, but are there any other EU books you're aware of that were supposed to be released but didn't? Yes, yeah. There's quite a few stories altogether. There's a handful of books, quite a few short stories. There were video games, comics. There's quite a few. I mean, what's interesting, by the way, is that there was actually a planned. I don't know how many people talk about this. There was actually a planned comic book miniseries that was actually going to be a prequel to The Heart of the Jedi, which would have been really cool. I believe that as of the last I've checked, that is, I think that's gone. See, the really sad thing is there's a ton of things. There's really quite a few things. I mean, a very, very, very long list of things that we know were canceled. The interesting thing right now is the real goal is not just releasing them, but sort of trying to get closure around whether they're even available. And when it comes to that comic, I think we know for a fact from the family of the author that that they're just gone for good. Whatever they put together, drafts or outlines or images, it's just gone, right? So there's a ton of stuff that's gone. Margaret Weiss's book, which was going to be a sequel to Heart of the Jedi, is gone for good. There was going to be a proposed additional trilogy of books set within the New Jedi Order called Nightfall. Those are gone. Some of them were completed, at least in draft form, but they're gone. We know from the author that I think in his case, I think it was like the files from the computer that he was writing on, it's just all gone. Like he threw the computer away, right? Threw the discs away. It's just gone for good, unfortunately. There are, however, there are definitely, you made a stream. Hello. There definitely are some books that that were completed that we know of, that who knows, maybe one day we'll see the light of day. I mean, the most famous example is Escape from Dagu, the Bill Ditz novel that was replaced by Yoda Dark Rendezvous, part of the original sort of Clone Wars multimedia series. It's completed with cover art I'm trying to think of some others. The Elaine Cunningham book, Blood Oath, I think was completed. It must have been getting close. There must be something there. There's quite a few. There's quite a few. And I think maybe I'll do a video soon on like the long list of things we know about. This is great. We've got, I'm so Brian and Eckhart's Ladder. Thank you for joining. And Matt, this is great. Thanks for everyone for joining. Josh, good to see you. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Oh yeah, well, this is a good one too. The Star Wars Fairy Tales by John Whitman. That's definitely one of those that I would really wish to see. I don't know if we know whether or not if there's anything left of that though. Blood Oath, I mentioned. Escape from Dagu, which I think to me has got to be like the #1 thing to release next because it's all done, right? It's all done. Yeah, definitely. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of clarity now thanks to that update to the Amazon page. But again, there's some additional mystery added. I hope folks talk about this. Again, I think there obviously is the potential concern that some entity comes along and takes it down. The good news is that based on our estimates, quite a few people have purchased it, right? However you want to interpret the sales data, whether you want to think of it in terms of a snapshot of hourly sales versus overall objective sales, our estatements show that a sizable minority of people in presumably the Star Wars EU fandom have already picked it up. So I think quite a few people, who were the prime movers have gotten in. I'm trying to spread the word, for people who want to pick it up. But again, there's always the concern that it gets taken down. But again, it will always be available to read on the internet, which is really, really the key thing. So anyway, I think that I'm going to just hop off, make this quick one again. And as there are more Heart of the Jedi updates, I will be here breaking news. And as more of the mystery unfolds about who uploaded it and what their thoughts are, I will be here as well. But again, just as a public service announcement, yeah, EU folks, no need to necessarily, get, a disproportionate joy out of trying to poke Disney in the eye with this, right? Which again, I don't think is anyone's objection. There are people on social media who are always going to do that, who may or may not even really, in fact, be part of the EU fandom. What are you going to do? The internet's full of trolls, right? But I would just say this: enjoy it, love it. What a fun moment in time. It's a fun EU success that there's this thing available for folks. It's raising awareness about old lost Star Wars content, more Star Wars for everyone. You got to love it. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.